consultant and mentor. Today's conversation is a lot lighter than the last couple. Basically, I saw this clip of a podcast and they were talking to Will Clay and they were like, yeah, do you watch live track and field? And Will Clay basically paused and was like, and I was thinking, like, man, do I watch live track and field? Like, the reality is, I don't even watch live sports. Like, I just go on YouTube and I watch the recap of everything. But when it comes to track and field, here are my reasons why. It's so hard to find where track and field is. And then whenever they do show track and field, it used to be on Channel 4, right? And they would have it, you click at the TV and you would turn on Channel 4 and it's there. Now it's like it's still on Channel 4, but it's on CNBC and it's on this version of it. And I have to have Chromecast or podcast, I don't know, whatever type of cast, Spectrum, Bally's. I have to have all these different networks. And if I'm not signed in, I can't even get access to purchase the channel. Like Fire Stick doesn't, it's just the craziest thing. It's just so difficult. And I'm a follower of Destroying. Destroying is a YouTube personality who went to college for on a football scholarship, was making money from YouTube at the time. NCAA had these rules where you can't make money while you're in school, even though they make money off of you. But they said either you quit the YouTube thing or you're out of school. And he was like, well, I'm out of here. I'm off the scholarship. Right. And was making millions of dollars or however much money he makes. He makes a good amount. And he ended up fighting his way back into making it to being a professional athlete. He's now playing for the UFL. He's a kicker. And they just won their first game. So anyway, I say all that because um, I went on to Hulu and I literally saw that you can watch the game he's in live. And it was a full telecast. It was a full TV show. And I was just like, why is this easier? It's a new league. The UFL just started this year. They combined two football leagues and they just started this year. And I have like I stumbled across it. I literally turned on Hulu and I saw that there's live football and I see his team and I click on it and I'm watching it. And I said, this is so easy. But for track and field, I have to have a Flow Track account. I have to have a whatever account. And it's just like I go on YouTube and I see a live stream of this. However, I can't watch it because there's this big like spam link in front of the whole screen. It just makes no sense. So track and field, no, I don't watch the sport live because it's too hard to find. And it's just like there's got to be a way to make it easier to watch the sport. What I do as a coach is I go on YouTube and I watch the recaps. And on the recap, I can skip over all the nonsense, but it's just like I'm giving the viewership to someone who copied the video, or it might be NBC still, but it's just like I wanted to watch this live versus I see that the event is finished on Instagram because someone posted a video of them recording their screen. And then I go online and someone finally uploads it and I can watch it. Like the viewership is down only because there's so many places to find it. When you watch basketball, where is it at? ESPN, ABC, or TNT. That's it, right? Like you know where to go and that's where it's at. There's no real company that has taken over track and field when it comes to viewership. And it's like the reason why Flow Track costs money is because they put their own physical cameras up, right? And it's just like we got to figure out a way. I do have some suggestions. I'll share them. There's no money in track and field. Athletes are broke. We're not seeing athletes last for years and years because there's no money. And when they do pay for them, those athletes do well but it's just those one, two, or three athletes. Usain Bolt saved our sport, but there are so many other athletes running amazing times that you don't know about because they're like, we rather just give all of our money to Usain Bolt to run fast. Everyone else can run slower because Usain Bolt's running faster because we give him the money. The the idea that I have is, what if instead of a one sponsor, Nike, taking over all of USA track and field, what if sponsors sponsored the event and they could put whatever amount of money they want? Let's say we had a Chick-fil-A mile. Chick-fil-A would fund and pay, and they'd be able to fund these athletes, top 20 finishers now versus top 6, right? Maybe they ran in a certain type of uniform if they're sponsored by that company. What if we had a Foot Locker triple jump championship? Foot Locker sponsors it. They make sure the board is paid for. They put their cameras up. They put together their own sponsorship for this event. What would that look like? Now, whenever you're watching this telecast, the commercials are whose commercial? Foot Lockers. Is there commercials? If you want your commercial, sponsor the event. Versus paying NBC for a 30-second time slot, right? Right now, what happens is whenever you watch the Olympics, whenever you watch the World Championships, whenever you see these events, what do they show you? They show you the story of Noah Lyles and what his trials were, what his tribulations were, his times last year, this big hype story, which is great, right? Telling us a story about him. And they have him on the track warming up, doing all of his stuff. And then behind him is a guy that runs by and you hear all these cheers. I'm like, what happened? Well, the guy that's behind him is Donald Scott, and he just jumped 57 feet, 55 feet, 58 feet, whatever. It's like, I want to know what happened to him, right? It's like, but you got to now go on to Hulu, purchase a membership, download this app to then see a live stream of this event. It's like, just turn the camera. It makes no sense to me, right? I get it. There's so many moving parts. So many moving parts of track and field. There's between 16 and 18 or 19 events happening, and there's 5, 6, 7 events happening at a time. It's a lot going on. But if you were to give me the freedom to click in between each one and watch it, great. Even if you were to say, you know what, we're not going to cover these field events, then just put a camera down at a 3/4 angle, right? Maybe 2 or 3 cameras, just leave them there. And I can change between the cameras where it's more interactive, right? The reason why we're not watching it is it's too hard to watch. And it costs too much money to figure out what channels we should be watching. I think they had it before. It was like ESPN showed this, ESPN U showed this other thing. Like, that helps because now I can choose what I wanted to watch. I don't watch live sports because of the challenges, but I was watching the UFL game because I can see it. It's easy to find. Track and field, take some of these ideas, whether it's my idea or whatever ideas you have, and just make this a little bit more exciting, make it a little bit more fun. Like, if you were to actually show the high jump, the whole thing, not a recap of earlier today, high jump happened and this guy cleared 7.5, and this other guy was supposed to win, but he didn't clear it, and then he didn't make it, but the other guy that we have no idea who he is made it. We can't tell you about him because we don't know who he is. It's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah. What I'm going to do this year for Leap Fest, I'm going to practice this concept of, what if I had a sponsor that sponsored the guys' long jump? What if I had another sponsor that sponsored the girls' high jump? What happens? What happens there? And what if they were to be the ones that sponsor the championship bags or whatever it is, right? Like, or they pitched in for there's 4 events, there's 4 different divisions, then they pay for those 4 bags for those divisions so the athletes can compete. And they win, and you can have a specific version of that bag with your branding on it. That's happening this year. So if you're a sponsor and you want to know about this stuff and figure out how to be a part of it, please email me at info@keenanbriggs.com. But yeah, we got to make it better. And so that's just my solution, what I'm going to try. And you guys hopefully hear this feedback and make some adjustments. But let's make it fun. All right. Till next time.